Hello from Paris Blockchain Week, and today we're talking about blockchain and AI opportunities. As we know, the blockchain industry right now as it is, we can compare it to the AI industry as it is right now, and there is kind of difference. So it seems like that AI industry is booming maybe harder than blockchain back in time. So what might be the reason on it?
Absolutely, AI and blockchain are the 21st century, technologies in terms of revolution. But we haven't seen blockchain picking up the way, let's say, AI has, right? Like, I think apart from crypto, we don't really see a very prominent use case out there of blockchain yet. Of course, there are a lot of pilots going on, but not to the scale that we wish we had hoped for 15 years down the line, since 2009, ever since Bitcoin was introduced to the world. But I think what we're forgetting is that AI has also actually existed for decades,
It's called machine learning.
Exactly. Machine learning has existed for decades now. And it's only very recently that we're seeing, solutions such as ChatGPT-4, which has gone widespread and mainstream, right? So I think even though that comparison is fair to a degree, but it's also questionable, right? Because I would say blockchain is still a baby when compared to AI, right?
Yeah.
But I think what is not really questionable is the integration of these two technologies, Web3 blockchain with AI, right? I mean, for example, if you look at smart contracts, even though they are decentralized and, you're working with blockchain, but you definitely need AI as a layer on top of it, right? To kind of make sense of those smart contracts or to, let's say, identify any bugs or to make sure.
So you can use AI as an instrument to fulfill or to boost the blockchain technology for some of the use cases. Do you have any example?
Yes, I think in supply chain, like what we do, we try to integrate AI, IoT, and blockchain together to kind of trace different products, right? Let's say if you're tracking food which is going in a container, you put IoT, right, to maintain the temperatures and things like that. And then you use AI on top of the data that is recorded on the blockchain to analyze that data, to optimize your inventory, to optimize your logistics, for example. And that's where AI is really coming into play for us as well when we are creating standards or providing solutions to our clients.
And I think one of the topics that could be used in blockchain AI is ESG. Then you count some emissions and anything that you can count. And from the perspective of your clients, of your companies that you're working with, do you have any other use cases that are peculiar, particularly in the edge between blockchain and AI, right?
Yes, absolutely. Like when we're talking about carbon credits, a lot of our customers are trying to cater to the demands of the client, which is either sustainable products or let's say, what are the carbon footprints, for example. So consumers are wanting it, so the clients are coming to us, saying that we want to trace our entire supply chain so that we can provide the customer what they are looking for. So there we are creating certificate-based solutions for our clients so that, once the data is recorded, we can issue those certificates, and those certificates are then put on the blockchain so our clients can, let's say, scan a QR code and see those certificates. So we're also working with certification bodies for that to kind of verify those, certificates. So that's one use case that we're definitely seeing where, the demand is being driven by the customer now, and that's a very big change in the industry.
Sometimes they mention that today is a spring for blockchain, mostly for the crypto, I would say. But it fulfills the interest for blockchain technology in general. Do you see any trends among your clients or prospects that coming because of this fact, or how the things are developing? I think we have some regulation in force, or we have AI development. What is the trend of demand of your clients right now? What kind of assistance they need to abide by the market rules today?
I think the main issue here is interoperability between different stakeholders that exist today, let's say in any business or in a supply chain, if you talk about it at a larger scale. Now, what is happening is that they all want to introduce blockchain to their systems, but they're resistant because A, there is no understanding or lack of education, and B, even if they want to, they're scared because they're not sure of the regulations. And thirdly, it's the infrastructure incapabilities that does not exist right now, and different systems being talking to each other, like in terms of interoperability. So that's when the standardizations come into play. We try to make it easy for our clients by providing different standards, which they can adhere to. So it could be data standards or API standards or process standards. It's important that the systems can talk to each other, right? And that's only when that data will make sense. So we're trying to make it easy for them by creating those standards, and that's where they find it the most difficult. They want to implement it, but they're not able to because they don't know how the systems can talk to each other and how they can upgrade their systems, for example.
You talk about standards. Would it mean centralization, or it's still decentralized but working on the same standard?
No, it's absolutely still decentralized. When we talk about standardizations, we mean, let's say, if the data needs to be recorded, it needs to be recorded in a certain format, right? And if I'm recording the data in a certain format, then you as, let's say, another stakeholder should also record the data in a certain format. So that it all reads out in a holistic manner, and then it becomes easier to play with that data. But it's completely decentralized. There's no centralization here. We're just providing the standards, you adhere to the standards, so it makes it easier for your systems to interoperate with each other.
Talking about standards as well, I think it's the last question we are asking for every guest coming here. Application of KYC for everything that will be going in blockchain, mostly in the crypto, I would say. Is it for the best or for the good, for the mass adoption?
I think if we have to create that trust within the system to some degree, it is absolutely important, right? Because why do we trust the government today? We know that we can go to them if something goes wrong. But I'm definitely not pro-centralization. I definitely believe that the power of this technology is empowerment through decentralization. But I think to gain the customer trust, some degree of checks need to be in place. Now, I don't know if getting their data is the right way forward. Maybe permission data, in a way where they're okay with giving out some part of the information, which is absolutely bare necessary. And I think that's where even edge-based systems come into play these days, where you have everything, all the controls at the edge of your devices, smartphones and smart devices and things like that. And at the back end, blockchain is running, but I, as a layman, do not know that blockchain is running. I think so. If we have edge-based, systems in place, that's where I think the real scalability can happen for blockchain technology.